Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, welcome back to the channel. So first things first, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Yes, I'm begging you to subscribe to the channel. So many of you are watching my videos and are not yet subscribed. Look at the number of people that watch my videos and they are not yet subscribed. So please subscribe to the channel. So yesterday Goalkeepers published 35-man list of players which are going to be taking part in the match against Namibia. Let me first note this first. This list is just a pre-list. The final list of 25 players is going to be published like 1 week before the match. So this list is just a pre-list, and yeah, just a pre-list, and the final list is going to be published before the match, like a week or so. So in this video, we'll be looking at the players who made it to the list, the absentees in this list, and my reactions. I feel like many players are absent in this list. Many players are not supposed to be in this list. So stay tuned to the end of this video, and please, once again, subscribe to the channel. So I'm going to begin with the goalkeepers. So for those who don't know which goalkeepers have been called, I'm just going to read out the goalkeepers' names. We have Epasi Boka Davis. That is, he plays for Al Aba Club in Saudi Arabia. He was the one that called for Cameroon against Brazil. He was the one that was in goal for Cameroon against Brazil. We have Ngapadu Simon, who plays for Olympique de Marseille. Ngapadu Simon plays for Olympique de Marseille. He was at the World Cup. He was the third goalkeeper behind Epasi and Onana. We have Omosola Simon. Omosola Simon plays for Lupopo in Congo. And we have Babi Marseille, who plays for Gazelle in Garoua. So this is the only Cameroonian on this list. This Marseille is the only Cameroonian-based player on this list. So these goalkeepers have been called up. I feel like they're probably the best goalkeepers Cameroon have right now since the retirement of Andrew Onana. I don't want to dive deep into this Andrew Onana situation because I feel like Samuel Eto'o and Goalkeepers are doing the right thing. They are not falling for what Onana is playing, because that's the same game that Choupo-Moting played after the AFCON in Cameroon, when he was not in good terms with Antonio Conceição. He later on decided that if Antonio Conceição was not sacked, he was going to retire from international football. I feel like that's the same game Andrew Onana is playing, and they are not supposed to yield to it. So good job to Goalkeepers for removing him from the side. I feel like no player is above the squad and above the team. And for Epasi did a great job against Brazil, even though he was not that confident against Serbia. He was not that confident against Serbia, but he came and gave us a man of a match performance against Brazil. What a match that guy had. I feel like going into this match, he's the best possible choice for goalkeeper, and there's nobody else that can replace him right now, because if we're looking for right now, Epasi is probably the best here. He's starting for his club every weekend. He plays for a club every weekend. The rest are also playing for their club. I feel like somebody like Omotola, who plays for Congo, also plays for a club, but the fact that he plays in Africa already gives him a disadvantage, and Epasi already has the advantage, being that he was already the second choice behind Onana and all. So Epasi, I feel like Epasi is going to be in goal, and I feel like he's going to get called up. I feel like for the young goalkeeper from Gazelle, from that is playing in Cameroon, I feel like he's not going to make it into the 25-man list. He's not going to figure into that list. I feel like Goalkeepers is going to prioritize 3 goalkeepers. So I'm seeing Omotola going, I'm seeing Simon going, and I'm seeing Epasi going into the finalists. And I'm sure Epasi is going to be starting against Namibia on the 23rd. So yes, and for the defenders, this is where some new faces start coming in. We have Faye Collins. Faye Collins plays for Al Ta'i Club in Saudi Arabia. He's popularly known. I'm sure everybody here knows him. We have Younger Darling, plays for FC L'Oreal. This is probably his second call-up. He had a call-up against during the international break when Cameroon played against Uzbekistan. He was in that squad that made it to South Korea and played South Korea and Uzbekistan, but he never featured in any game. So this is going to be his second call-up. We have Enzo Gianni Chatombayi. He plays for Montpellier. This is going to be his first call-up. Enzo is going to be his first call-up. Enzo plays for Montpellier. He's a left back. What a left back. He's having an incredible season so far with Montpellier. I feel like that's a good choice for left back with Faye Collins getting old and No Tolo not really performing at his level. I feel like that's really somebody that's going to put in competition into the squad. So yes, another person on the list is Tolo. No Tolo plays for Seattle Sounders in the United States. I feel like No Tolo, for me, that man has never convinced me. His game has never convinced me. I feel like he's too defensive. And football nowadays, if the left back and right back are not bringing in some support to the offensive side of the play, I feel like your team will be lagging behind. I feel like No Tolo is too defensive as compared to Faye Collins. That's where he has some struggles in his game, even though he's a good defender. but he has never really convinced me. Another person on the list is Malcolm Boleke Mputo. Malcolm Boleke, a new player, is playing in Bordeaux in the second division of France. He's a young player to coming out. A lot of young players have been called up to this team, this 35-man list. I feel like, I don't know whether Song is going to prioritize them into the 25-man list, but I feel like, yes, that really is really showing what the project, what Song has, and what Song is trying to do. Song is trying to invest in youth. And we have Castelletto Jean-Charles. Castelletto plays for Nantes in France. He was at the World Cup in Qatar with Cameroon, played about 2 matches before having an injury or so. And we have Wu Christopher, yes, also plays for Rennes in France. He had an excellent game against Brazil. We saw what he did against Brazil. I feel like that is his reference match since he came to the national team. We have Omar Gonzalez. Omar Gonzalez plays for Ajaccio. This is probably his second called up after he was called up for the international break where Cameroon played Uzbekistan and South Korea. This is going to be his second call up. We have Oyumo Flavien, another new face into the national team. There's a lot of new faces that are coming into this 35-man list, but we're going to have to wait to see if they're making it to that final 25-man list. We have Harold Mukudi. Harold Mukudi, this is another comeback. This is a player who was left out of the squad since the qualification for the World Cup against Algeria. Since Algeria has not made it into the squad, he has not made it into the Cameroon squad since then. Another comeback. He has had an incredible season in Greece. He plays for AEK Athens in Greece. He had an incredible season so far. His second part of the season was great. From January up to now, he's doing well. We have Nicolas Kulu. This is where I have a problem. I don't know why they keep calling this nigga. I don't know why he keeps coming back. I feel like this man, he's putting a sting into his national team career. He ended in very well, winning the AFCON with Benjamin Mukandra and the likes. He went into retirement and came back after the World Cup and did poorly in the World Cup. Let's not hide facts. Nicolas Kulu was very poor at the World Cup. He was very poor at the World Cup. And if we are building for the future, if we are building to win the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, we should not put this man into the list because he was very poor in the first 2 matches against Serbia, against Switzerland. He was very poor. Even in the match against South Korea, he was very poor. I don't see why Fingo keeps bringing back this man into this list. I feel like there are many other players that were supposed that can be called up. I feel like Nganji Gwaji is a player that needs to be called up back. He needs to come back to this national team. He was one of the veterans of this national team. I feel like he has to come back, and Nicolas Kulu is not supposed to be at this place. And for the midfielders, this is where things get a little bit hot. This is where you see a lot of new players too. And we're going to begin with Hongla Martin. Hongla Martin plays for Real Valladolid. I feel like in the national team, Martin Hongla has not yet cemented his position, and he still has to convince a lot of people. I feel like he's a very good player, and he left Hellas Verona in January to go to Real Valladolid. Since at Real Valladolid, he has been playing as a centre back. I don't know why he has. Another name is Kunde Malong. Kunde Malong, one of the veterans in this national team. Yes, Kunde Malong is coming back. I'm sure he's going to make the 25-man list. He was at the World Cup, so I'm sure he's going to make it. We have Zambo Anguissa, one of the technical leaders of this team, plays for Napoli. What a season this guy is having. We have Cham Olivier, plays for Swansea FC. Cham Olivier plays for Swansea FC. He was one of the binationals who were called up in preparation for the World Cup. I feel like he has not proven in Cameroon. He has not proven on the international level. I feel like he still has a lot to prove to the Cameroonian public. He gave us a lot of hope and glimpse of his game against South Korea and Uzbekistan. I feel like he has something. He has a lot to offer. Another young player, Olivier Kemen, Kayserispor in Turkey. This is a new addition. This is going to be his first call-up. If he makes it to the 25-man list, he's going to be his first call-up. An attacking midfielder plays for Kayserispor in Turkey. We have Carlos Baleba. Carlos Baleba plays for Lille. Carlos Baleba plays for Lille in France, 18 years of age. A young player. He shows that Rigobertson is betting on the youth. Rigobertson is betting on young players to carry the national team forward. We have Onana Zhang. Zhang Onana never made it in the World Cup squad. I feel like that's one of the grand absentees of the World Cup. He comes back. I don't know whether he will make it to the 25-man list, but I feel like he comes back. The fact that he has come back to the pre-list is a good thing. And Robertson is going to make his choice at the end. I feel like the midfield is too choked up for. I don't see Onana making it into the 25-man list. We have Steve Regime, who plays for FC Serang. This is one of the fallen stars Cameroon have had. He was one of the best players when Cameroon won the under-17 AFCON in Tanzania and made it to the World Cup that same year. After a while, he had some few tryouts at Toulouse before making a move from Toulouse to Belgium in Tehran. I feel like he has had a lot of game time the second part of the season. And yes, he has earned his call up to the national team. We have Benjamin Elliott plays for Chelsea. He's an interesting player. I feel like this is a player Cameroon needs at this point in time. A player that can be very creative, and Elliott is a very creative player. They only call him in England as the next Jamal Musiala. His game is very technical, he's very creative. A good addition to the Cameroon national team. Yeah. And for the attackers, I feel like there's no really new face. There are not some new faces here. And we have Ghana Go. Ghana Go plays for FC Nan. He missed out at the World Cup. He was not called up for the World Cup. And those are one of the grand absentees at the World Cup. We have Toko Ekambi Carl. Toko Ekambi after the World Cup, like he fell down. He had a breakout with young fans and he got a move to Rennes. I feel like since he moved to Rennes, he has started getting back in form. He scored 2 goals during the Europa League tie against Shakhtar Donetsk. Yes, so he's not a new player to the team. We have Moumi Ngama Lebris. Moumi Ngama Lebris, Dynamo Moscow. For Moumi Ngama, I feel like he's the most constant Cameroon player. He does not improve and he does not decrease. Like in his form, he's always he's always constant. And for a player, it's not that good. I feel like he needs to improve on his game. Like since there's already competition already at his section in Beme and Kudu already coming in before the World Cup, I feel like the man has to step up his game. We have Daniel Namaso Loda of FC Porto. This is to another young player coming up the ranks of FC Porto. He's having a great season so far for his age. And the person calling him to the national team is rewarding him for his performances at Porto. I feel like, yeah, a great addition to the squad. Choupo-Moting Eric. He does not need any introduction. What he's doing at Bayern Munich is wonderful. One, he's having his best season of his life. So it's better Cameroon maximizes this time of his career and uses him. I feel like he's the best player Cameroon has at the moment with Zambo Anguissa, and it's not strange for him to be called up. I feel like he's going to make the 25-man list 100%. We have Ngom Bekele Jerome. Ngom Bekele Jerome. I feel like this is a player that has proved a lot of people wrong. Like saying the Cameroonian League does not have level. This guy made it into the World Cup squad, still playing in the Cameroonian League. He gave that decisive pass for Aboubacar Vincent's goal against Brazil. He went to the Chan in Algeria. He was one of the instrumental players for Cameroon at the Chan in Algeria this January. And yes, coming back to the national team again, Robinson is rewarding his efforts and everything. He shows that the guy is improving. He made a move to second division side, that is Beveren in Belgium, and that's the reward. Hard work pays off. He was playing the league in Cameroon and now he plays in Belgium. And another person on the list is Beme Bryan. Beme Bryan yet to score with the national team. I feel like he's one of the most luckiest players Cameroon had. Like he just came into the national team, bam, he was already in the starting 11. He made it in the starting 11. It's his first call up, and that's pretty impressive. Another player on the list is Stefan Bauken. Stefan Bauken makes it back to the list after a couple of months, after missing out on about 2 call-ups. He's not making it to the World Cup squad. He's not making it to the World Cup preparatory squad that played Uzbekistan and South Korea. He's coming back into the team. We have George Kevin Nkudu, Istanbul Besiktas. I feel like George Kevin Nkudu has to prove to the Cameroonian public. We remember back in 2015 when he was being given a call up to the Cameroon national team and he declined. I feel like he still has to reconnect with the public and produce that magic we know him about, that magic he knows how to do. So I feel like, yes, he still has a lot to prove in the national team. And I feel like, yes, he's going to be on the 25-man list. And last of the list, Aboubacar Vincent. Aboubacar Vincent, the captain of the team. I feel like if Aboubacar is not on this list, nobody's supposed to be on the list. Sorry, but yeah, Aboubacar is one of the leaders of this team. And yes, it's not strange to see him on the list, even though he's having a quite shaky season so far. Moved from Al Nassr due to Ronaldo's effect and came to Besiktas, his former club. I feel like he will pick up form and he will be very instrumental for Cameroon. My overall view of this list, like Rigobert Song is trying to invest in youth. I feel like he has a project for the next 3 or 4 years. He does not want to solely rely on the players he has now. He wants to see other players. That's why he's calling up a lot of young players into the team. And for absentees, the major absentee on this list is Ngando. Ngando for me is the major absentee on this list. And I feel like he still has to come back to the national team. So guys, drop your opinions in the comment section. Tell me who was not supposed to be on this list and who is a grand absentee in this list. Drop your opinions in the comment section and please subscribe to the channel. I'm begging you, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe so anytime I post a video, you're gonna be the first to see it, and like our videos. Till next time, stay safe.